How I built my first virtual reality video game. In 2015, I was taking a class at Stanford called Sound Design and Musical Gaming, and I was getting a straight F in that class, mainly because it was at the same time as my baseball games on Tuesday nights. I went to the professor and I said, Poppy, how can I get an A in your class? She said, Jordan, it's so easy. Just make a video game in virtual reality and I'll give you an A. And I was like, no idea how to make a VR video game. Let's figure it out. I asked around and there was actually a lab at Stanford called the Virtual Human Interaction Lab. It was a VR lab. And I went to the lab, I would talk to this guy, I was like, dude, I need help making this video game, I need this A in this class, please help me. And he's like, oh dude, I got you, I've made video games before, I can totally help you out. And that person was Cody, aka Codexter. We make Derby together to this day, almost 10 years later. Cody helped me. We ended up borrowing an Aston Martin. We put a 360 camera on top of it. We made a drag racing game in an Aston Martin. That's how I met Cody. That's the whole start of this whole story of building Throwback Studios, making VR video games for you guys. If I had one piece of advice for how to get into VR video games, have a little pressure from your professor in school. Create games with friends. Don't do it by yourself. Create it with people who you're friends with, who you are great collaborators with, because it's so much more fun building games with your buddies.